I just voted. It felt like I was holding my breath the entire time until I got here to vote, and I just voted. Early voting, I looked up where I needed to. Hood Philosophies and Other Jive Talk from the Urban Jungle is a thought-provoking collection of 6 essays that dive deep into the heart of urban life. With sharp wit and raw honesty, the author explores the complexities of street culture, the church, the socioeconomic struggles of marginalized communities, and the resilience of those living in the inner city. Each essay offers
the bridge is over, the bridge is over, bye-bye, the bridge is over, the bridge is
unspoken
over.
rules of the urban jungle, blending philosophy with lived experience in a way that is both insightful and unapologetically real. Hi, I'm Leslie M. with the Over 35 and Up podcast and blog. You know, everybody's been talking about Milton today. They showed a little bit of footage on CNN. They were being tossed around like popcorn seeds in a popper. I'm not joking. They were military people taking barometric pressure and said it's so low it's not on any of the handheld barometers. Maybe you could pick it up on um, a digital one because it goes lower. But it was a low pressure system. That's not good. That's not good. Also, just to update you, I'm getting older, and I know I am because I don't know, they sent me this classical link to the music, iMusic or whatever it is. What is it? I guess I should get the name right. And so I've been listening to the classical music on it because it's separate from this. Like, what's this gotta be tough? I don't know who that is. So iMusic, I guess it's iMusic. I don't know what it is. But I have a classical and I have where my playlists are. And I've started to listen to the classical because sometimes I just can't take a lot of agitation because the day has been long or, you know, many takes on content creation and things of that nature. And I just as soon not go through that, not put myself through that. Now I've made a new app that contains the blog and the podcast. And so what I want to do, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's on too. But what I want to do, I want to put it on the blog. Okay. And I want you to go over to my Over 35 and Up Facebook page. Over 35 and Up. Just type in Over 35 and Up. And hopefully the page will pop up. So let's go on to these emails because I did see VP Harris on The View and I thought she did fine, but everyone else did their version of it. What? Okay. It's like, don't scare me. I was more interested in that jacket she was wearing. She had on something that looked like tweed. It was gray tweed. Great. It was something. Tweed or flannel or something. It was beautiful. It was this color. It was this color, but it looked wool. It looked really well made. I mean, I'm when you go to work and you're in a profession, your go-to is Talbot's or some other high-end normal clothing place. I call it a normal clothing place because it's not club wear. It's not dressy casual. It's not after 5. You're not wearing T-length dresses. You're wearing business suits. Okay? And they can either be pants or they can be skirts. It just depends on what's going on where you work. Sometimes you should just stick to pants. Like, oh, you guys, if you go over to Over 35 and Up on Instagram, I have some comments over there. Some men you can't tell no. So don't start it if you can't finish it, or you're going to have a whole lot of problems, avoidable problems. I had to learn that the hard way. Oh, okay, well, we'll just go through it. We can go through what the girls did on The View today. You know, some of my thoughts I keep to myself because I should. I should keep them to myself because I put an article on my blog that I just didn't want to be true. It was from CNN. You should go over there to www.over35andup.com. www.over35andup.com. There is an article over there speaking on likability. And that's what actually started the whole downward spiral. I'm talking about I ended up I was just curled up in the bed. Just can't. Not again. Please. Please. We put cracks in the ceiling. Okay, it's time to move forward and put this woman into office. I'm glad she enjoys life, beer, wine, whatever you like. But we're voting for her and we want her because she's the best candidate for the job. Okay, she's going to run America. I think she's appropriate. I think she has the sensibilities. I think she has the common sense. I think she will keep us out of pandemic's way. I'm sure there won't be any pestilence during her watch because we're still coming out of the what pandemic did to our economy because it killed a lot of people and our economy is based on people, places and things, mostly people. So, the people that we have here, the boomers, they're getting like very old. And the Gen Xers are actually kind of old too. So the millennials are walking around doing things because that's what happens when a lot of boomers stayed in office, stayed in power until some people say too long. And they did not give anybody a chance. It's like we weren't raised on being given a chance. We were raised on you better be here and you better be able to grab. And if you're graceful enough, you can take things that you need. It's like, are you asking permission generally to use stuff in your own house that you bought? No. Well, you should look at us here in America in that same way. There are people running our country. We're people. They need oversight. That's journalism. And it works. It does what it's supposed to do. It's just that people lean into it too much. It's supposed to let you know what's been going on while you were doing something else. Whatever that something else is up to you. Okay, but this is what was going on across the board. And the job is done and done well and thorough. However, if you don't want to hear it, if you have a problem absorbing information, if you are traumatized, blah, 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 you got problems. We don't have solutions for your problems. You need to find solutions for your problems. Journalism can't fix that. The problems. We can't fix it. We're just telling you about it so you can know to put it on the list of things to do. And that's the way that is. A lot of people, they like police. I hear it on the broadcastify all the time. They fool and they call the police for any reason. Any reason. Because they're used to that interaction. They grew up with that interaction. They do these things, and the police, oh, it's so and so. They get some kind of attention, recognition. It's sad because they're not social workers. They're men with badges and guns. They're authority figures to make sure you stay in line and do what you're supposed to be doing. That's what they're there for. So when that comes to pass and there's death involved, well, why did you call them? Stop calling them for no real reason. That's the thing. Stop expecting too much from your people. Don't expect too much. Some people say don't expect anything and you'll be fine. And I'm not mad at that. That seems to be the way life is. If you don't expect anything, you're not as disappointed. But it's hard going through life without expectations. Now, VP Kamala Harris said that she's going to have a Republican in her cabinet. She's already picking her cabinet. I hope to God this stays on track so that she can win, because there are some battleground states that are troubling. Pennsylvania is one of them. And it's the messaging, it's the likability. People like Donald Trump. They may not trust him, they may not vote for him, but he's likable. That's why he's been kicking it for so many years in the public eye. He is in the public eye. Kamala is a regular person who graduated from college and law school and did well with her talents in those areas. Okay? She's not a billionaire. She's not a media darling. Okay? She did it the old fashioned way. She read all those books and remembered something and passed the tests. And she got her licenses. So I don't understand. See, my way of looking at things is going to be through that view of education, college, the proper view, where everything is in its proper place. I'm not looking at anything through foolishness. You know, we want VP Harris to be president because she's already presidential. She's already doing the job. It may not be perfect, but she certainly don't have us sick and dying in hospitals. At the end of the day, don't kill anybody. The other one killed a lot of people. And I'm like, do you realize the people died, from your decision-making skills resulted in death, avoidable deaths, because you feel some kind of way about a black president, 2 term. So a lot of people had to die. And you want people to be on board with that. That is a foolish way to think. Stick to what you know. His business acumen is exquisite. He's a closer. He closes deals. He brings home the money. That's why he's celebrated. That's why he's celebrated. And you really can't challenge him too much on that. It would have to be someone on his level, on his platform, to challenge him at that. Because from where I stand, that's what it seems like he's doing. He's still closing deals. He's getting ready to build some apartment complex somewhere. $1 billion thing. I don't know. But it's about time we started getting back to building up America. You know, certain parts of this country, there's always construction. Always. Because there are people who want housing and they can pay for it. It's new construction. They used to judge everything by how much new construction we have. They may still do that. However, they may not tell anybody about it. I don't know. And getting back to what I was talking about yesterday, I might just switch to Instagram. That's where the beauty filters are. All right. So this is okay, but I like the Instagram beauty filters. And if Riverside had a built-in beauty filter, fling flang flong, I would use it more. And right now I'm using it, but I really wanted to go back to my Instagram. I love those beauty filters. I'm in love with what they do. You know, this face I'm used to looking at. That other face is new. I'm very silly. All right, let's just go back. We're going to read the tweets. The X's. Whatever. We're going to read the messages on X. Thank you for joining us at The View. Somebody else, the girls didn't do this. The ladies didn't do this. Somebody else did that. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet because I don't feel burdened by letting pride get in the way of a good idea. That's smart, because that's how I am. Sunny reflects on today's interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. I can't play that. It's called Behind the Tape. I can't play any of their things. It's copyrighted material. But if you go over to X, you can go to the View account and go ahead and look at all these things. I can read them. VP Harris calls Trump pushing false claims about the government's hurricane response the height of irresponsibility. He got us all sick during COVID because he closed the pandemic office. Because I'm not going to even go any further. He closed the pandemic office. So I have to say. And, he may not understand what we need because he is a billionaire. Okay. VP Harris did not come from billions. They did all right. Like most people here, you go to school, you eventually get a job and you do all right. You could go some places, you could do some things, you know, but you're not a billionaire. You're not owning and on the super yacht because a lot of the stuff that you might want to do actually has thousands of dollars in upkeep attached to it, like, a house, but more. All right. Um, there's a media blitz with VP Harris, and she was on. What's it? I'm just gonna type in what I saw. Cracks a brew. It was a Miller High Life. Okay, that's like barbecue, backyard barbecue beer in the cooler. It's a very dense, heavy beer that's so crisp and herbaceous and delicious when you hot, and everything tastes like barbecue and smoke. It just cuts through all of that. But I don't drink anymore. A nice lemon water with some Pellegrino is nice too. Harris shares a Miller High Life with Colbert. Okay. She did say that. VP Harris said that Donald Trump gets played by dictators. Like they just be running him around like a little pet. He want to be the dictator's pet because they get to boss a bunch of people around. They have serfs and servants and stuff over in those less effective countries. Nobody really expects us to have to go through that because they wouldn't want to live their life with us being like them. They wouldn't get any of the things that they're getting from us now. They wouldn't get anything. They wouldn't get anything. And other than that, what's the difference? Except your way of life. We don't have any resources that's that much different than any other country. And matter of fact, there are a lot of volcanoes, rivers of lava flowing up under here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not a weather woman. I did not earn a degree in meteorology, so I shall be quiet. It's just that I'm wondering, is this actually, can you hear me? I'm going to go on over to my Instagram because I just trust it. I trust it. I've been on here 17 minutes, and before I go any further, I really, really, really want to make sure that you guys can hear me, and then you can see the difference between me here and me on Instagram, and you'll love me better there too. So I'll be right back. Hey, yeah, go on over to Amazon and download The Highs and Lows of Power Couples and Other Relationships, or read it on your Kindle. It is awesome and very interesting, and it is a quick read. It is a mini ebook. It can be placed into a reader, and in about 20 minutes, you would have listened to the whole book. Subscribe to the Over 35 and Up podcast for other tidbits like the highs and lows of power couples and other relationships. Also, while you are on your Kindle, read Becoming Vegans Presents Let's Do Brunch. Global American Flair, it's locale brunch recipes. If you know, you know. It kind of goes along with the Power Couples book. Yeah. Okay, bye. Hi, this is Leslie M., and we're back with Over 35 and Up. Bad edition. I told you. I look so much better. My teeth are whiter. My face is lifted. I don't look tired. Oh my God. I look so tired in that podcasting app. I look the same. Every time I look at myself, I look the same in this filter, and it's addicting. It is just addicting. All this is what I'm talking about. No puffiness. Okay.
I'm looking at the Ring neighborhood app. It's just constant flurry of lost pets. I'm glad there are no real issues. I love that. I love peace and quiet and silence. Not a bad silence, creepy movie. No, just a nice silence where you're not worried about a whole bunch of different stuff. What's different? What sense does it make to worry? Always worrying about stuff. I only have one apple cord. I got one apple cord. Oh, now I'm looking for, and to be honest, I could be heard just fine on this Instagram app. However, when I'm using microphones, if there's no feedback to let me know that the microphone is active, I could be talking and the microphone could go off. I got some lavalier microphone. I got one lavalier microphone from Amazon, and it works just fine when it's working. But sometimes that little green light is not on, and it's clipped back here, and I don't know it. So I need to really put it someplace where, and it's meant to be up here. I just didn't want it, to show. So it's like, well, then what did I buy this big rig microphone for? Because actually I'm using it. However, I'm filling up my cheapy laptop that was really just for emergencies, just in case, to get on the internet or whatever. But I'm sorry, just to word processing, and it wasn't supposed to be for the internet, but you have to use the internet to do anything. So it was really just a holdback computer, and I was really into my Chromebook. You can't get a lot of apps for Chromebook. I'm looking at this bedtime reminder. I'm in the bed, okay? I could not be in the bed. I just couldn't. And I don't have to worry about backgrounds because you see beige and you see gray. It's not nuts. It's not a nutsy. Because I got stuff in my room that I don't even know why it's in here, but it's in here. Be that as it may. This is where over 35 and up began. Point blank. This is where I started in bed. During pandemic, all covered up. I don't know. I was just cocooning. Everyone was cocooning. Some people were being driven crazy because they don't like being indoors. Well, I love being indoors. And it'll be days on end. I just won't go out. Weeks. If I don't need anything, if we have something to eat, look at this. No lines, no bags. I look perfect. Because I couldn't put enough makeup on today to make a difference. And then I forgot to blush altogether. And I just was all highlighted, all up in here. I don't even know what was going on. Like a space girl. Anyway, this is where my over 35 and up podcast started. We were getting at all our fears, frustrations, and all of that. But here's another thing. To be honest, I'm kind of hot now because all these lights in this shirt. It's, old ladies get hot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to break your heart, baby. Old ladies get hot. And uncomfortably hot. So I'm like, but this filter, it's the perfect matte. It's matte. I could be just as sweaty as I want, and you can't tell. Boy, Instagram really knew what they had with these filters, and that is 90% of the reason why people continuously choose this app over other apps. Just telling you, you might want to get your act together, other apps, because I left a whole podcast platform to come here, where it started. Just doing this. We sang and danced our way, thanks to D Nice and all the rest of his friends and stuff, through the whole pandemic. We're just regular people. All the people got together in one room. It was 60, 100 and some thousand people in this man's room. Instagram had to allow that many. And we listened to music and we chatted with each other and waited for God to kill us. But he did not. Because we all thought that we were going to die, or it was going to be the beginning of some dystopian film, that we don't get to walk out on. But it really disrupted our country because it killed a lot of people, and our people run the country. The country is comprised of people. Infrastructure by itself is not helpful if there's no one there to institute it. You need people. Lots of people. It's like I got a business and no employees. And I can do all the CEO stuff I want. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to have to write or figure out how to complete the 501c3 packet. And it's actually best left up to a lawyer nowadays because people have abused the 501c3 platform. That's tax-free. It used to be very simple. You just filling out something at like the BMV. Just you fill it out and that was it. Now you really do need a lawyer. If you're smart, if you're serious and you need a solid foundation, you need a lawyer to get your 501c3. You need billable hours. I need someone to donate to me billable hours. I'm looking for funding. I have about 6 or 7 nonprofits that I want to create. Now, the thing about a nonprofit is they don't have to worry about shareholders. It's nonprofit. So at the end of your fiscal year or your calendar year or whatever your accountant is doing, you should have zero profit. Zero profit. That means you're funded. Your salary is paid. Your employees' salaries are paid. Your vendors are paid. You put something up in savings for the company. It's like a person, like Mitt Romney said. And you have investments for the people. You have insurance it's all kinds of different 50-arm octopi. It's all kind of stuff. And each line item has a budget, has money attached to it. As long as that's paid, at the end of the day, your ledger book says zero profit. Or you won't get funded that much anymore because apparently you didn't need that much. And so a lot of people misuse their funding because, we got $20,000 left. It's like, did you save any? Do you donate as a nonprofit? You don't pay taxes, but do you donate? It greases the wheels. You help me, I help you. These are good things to think about. And the nonprofit model, that's why America is unique. The nonprofit model is to solve a problem. For-profit businesses are for profit, to make money. You can get paid and your nonprofit could be profitable in other ways, but your ledger book at the end of the fiscal year or your calendar year, whatever your accountant is doing for you and your company, will say zero profit. And that's what makes you a nonprofit. That's it. So many people could be helped by these nonprofits. Something simple that you could probably get a grant for, like a soup kitchen. I would love to put a soup kitchen in my neighborhood or down the street from me, way down, like 5 blocks away. You know why? It'll draw a lot of people down there and the noise will leave my block because a lot of the problems is that these guys, they're hungry. Men need a lot of food to survive and eat. And if they're not fed, they become violent. Okay, and we're not going to talk about the other things we might dabble in that makes us easily annoyed, easily angered. You know what I'm talking about. Stuff that we don't need if we can't control it. But we do anyway because this is America and you get to do that stuff. That's why people love this place. I didn't realize how many people loved it because I didn't realize how many people knew of places or were from a place where you can't do anything because they have a dictator. They have this big funky thing sitting on top of all their rights and wishes and prayers. You can't even pray, to God in some of these countries. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't want to be used to that. I don't really want to know much about it. I don't want anything to do with it. You can call me whatever you need to call me, but it would just take up unnecessary space in my phone. I mean, in my brain. Phone, brain, whatever. It's taking up unnecessary space in my presence. Space that could be dedicated to something helpful or useful to me. That's right. I think like that. And it helps keep me on track with the things I need to do and say and be. I haven't even been outside of the United States, so I don't have to be diplomatic. Just to let y'all know, I choose that path because it's the best path. Diplomacy solves a lot of problems. Just being nice, smartly nice. You don't paint yourself into a corner. Always be 3 steps ahead and know what you're talking about, and know what the other person's talking about. And then if you're smart, you'll know if they 3 steps ahead or not. And it's like, they're not 3 steps ahead. They're not doing that. They're not making those moves. That's how you think. That's how you're supposed to think. You look, it's like, you're not doing that. Then you don't say anything. You just observe. And it's like, this person doesn't know what they're doing because they should have turned there, and there. They don't even know how to negotiate. So this is somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend and nepotism. And it's like, well, if you need something, it's like a vending machine. Push the buttons and get what you need. I mean, I don't know why people put themselves in impossible predicaments and precarious situations. And to be honest, they're not prepared for any of that stuff, and they fail horribly. And they look green around the gills, and they look like they don't really know what they're doing. Point blank, they look like they don't know what they're doing. But they have the money and they have the position, and it's all about the flex and the floss. That's all they want to do. Like a teenager. And they waste an opportunity that was meant for all of us. You may have the job, but your job is to help so many different people. Please don't blow it. We're depending on you to pull through and do what's right in the eyesight of the Lord. And as long as you pleasing God and in his eyesight, not yours, in his eyesight, then you A-okay. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing here on this planet. Look at the contour. I can't get over it. I stopped the one, it was 30 minutes in anyway. Look at that. And that's what I was saying yesterday about contour. My face isn't just one big, fat, flat pie pan. Like somebody stuck a pie pan in my face and it kind of melted to the pan. It's kind of flat. Just flat. My face just looks so flat. I'm so happy to have some definition thanks to this thing. And I'm going to put this video next to the other video. And then, and it's going to be subscriber only. Because I was like, oh, my back hurts so bad. My tailbone hurts so bad. I haven't done much. I didn't go to the gym. And I think that's going to have to be once a week because my shoulder is still sore. It was coming out of the shoulder joint. It was detachable. And I have pulled a muscle in my groin. So I didn't know how I could help myself by going and lifting weights. And it's like I am older. I've been lifting weights and working out off and on my whole life. And still got 40 pounds to get rid of. At least 40. The first 40. I'm sorry. It is. It's the first 40 pounds. Oh. I'm going to put, because this looks like, it's like the perfect blush, the perfect lip shape. My lips aren't this bee stung, but they could be if I overdrew them in this way. You would have to overdraw it in this way. And you would have to take darker foundation and go like right up under here. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and then the color is the blush, and then there's a highlight. And see, the reason that you see this highlight is because there's nothing but highlight from here to here. The whole thing is just sparkly and light. I didn't do it right. Sometimes I don't do it right. Sometimes I don't. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't do it right. But this is where over 35 and ups began, in my bed. And the only reason I got a big bed is because my children, when they were little, they were always in my bed. Oh, it's messing up. Yeah, I'll put these away. Yeah, you gotta be sure. It is a filter, so you have to kind of make sure you're not doing too much. And the only thing I was going to do was finish reading some of these emails and on this website. It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm creating a shadow. A lot of this stuff is ridiculous. Now, what I've done is that I put it up on a hub. I don't know. I'm going to edit that part out. I'm going to edit that part out. Y'all don't need to see that. Oh, wait. Oh, can I edit it out from here? I don't know. You know what? When you're editing long videos, it's like, oh, I started talking about it and now it's messing up. The filter goes in and out. I guess after so long, the filter goes in and out. So it's more enhanced when you put makeup on. See, you have here, it goes in. It's subtle, but it helps. It helps. It's better than having this big gorilla jaw hanging off your bottom of your nose. It's very unattractive. It's unattractive. And I'm like, why would you go out of your way to be on television and then be unattractive? It's just, I don't want to do that. Not when I can look like this and like, oh, you don't look that great. Well, I look that great to me. I like looking at me with this on. The Hermes show just confirmed 2025's top trend. Is it going to be something worthwhile or goofy? Let's look. Who, what, where? Trends, outfits, shopping, beauty. You got to have money to do this. If I had money, my websites would be reflective of this stuff. As you see, I am interested in it. Where to go and share. Oh, did I tell you I voted? Yeah, I voted. Early voting has begun. And it was like I was holding my breath. So I went up there, I voted, and I felt instant relief. I voted. Vote your conscience. That's what I did. So share. They're doing share in 2025. So we're going to have a lot of people misusing share. It's not going to look good at all. Because too many people are going to misuse it and think they look good, and they're not going to look good. They're going to make whatever they're wearing look bad, and then they're going to look bad. And nobody's going to say anything because you'll probably get yelled at. Oh, you're doing such and such to this person. I'm like, okay. It's best someone tell you so that you're not walking around looking crazy. Bicyclist chased down dog burned in whiting fire for more than a mile to bring it to safety. That's kind of like what happened with us. We're, I mean, I don't know. Animals are easier to deal with sometimes than humans because you have to think so much with humans. You know, babies and dogs and kittens, they just want love. I've been wanting a woman to be president since Hillary. When they told me she was running, I was so happy. Yeah. So this is a long time a coming. Oh, come on. There you go. There you go. Now, this is how it started. I have my light. I have my camera. I have my iPad. And we go through things and we look. And a lot of people go to sleep. It's okay because oh yeah, one of the Kennedys had a stroke. Ethel Kennedy had a stroke. And she's in the hospital. Because what we do is work. And this is extra stuff. This is just fun extra stuff. Oh man. Oh, I don't know what that is. This is fun extra stuff, okay? People trying to get me to buy stuff, and I'm not.
Hi, leave a message for Leslie Jones McLeod. This is Selena Sanchez from UR Intern Media. I need your confirmation if you are still the copyright holder of.
You know what? They want to know about the copyright holder of 18 months. That's me. I'm the copyright holder. Talking about the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books. They're in a call center. I can clearly hear the people in the background. It's so unprofessional. Most people contact you by mail for business. Keep that in mind. Oh, our airport is going to expand the cargo infrastructure. That's nice. Baby boomers' health problems, French fry crisis, job interview tips. The French fry crisis, that's weird. This morning they're talking about Helene still, but now Milton has taken over and he's slapping us around. Baby boomers are going to have worse health because of their diet and lack of exercise. Lower demand for French fries. People can't afford to eat greasy fries and still fit into clothing. It's like, look, this shirt is comfortable enough for me to lie down in bed with. I don't want to cut off my circulation because I had to have fries. McDonald's fries and Rally fries. They're both very good. But I've had my fill of that stuff this week. Yeah. People love Halloween. Oh. Uh-oh. Golden Corral sent me something. All you can eat wings. I'm not going. I'm not going. If I want some wings, I'm going to make them myself. I'm making tomorrow. I'm making stir fry vegetables. Stir fry sheet pan, something like that. It'll be slightly oily, slightly crisp veggies, and some chicken drumsticks. So there's a meat and then there's a vegetable. It's going to be a lot of vegetables too. A lot of broccoli, things of that nature. There's nothing wrong with that. You have meat and you have vegetables. I don't know about. I'm not. I don't think I'm making a noodle. I don't think a noodle. Probably not. That's. I sit around thinking about food to feed the people here in this house. Well, I saw VP Harris on The View. I thought she did fine, but I don't dislike her. I had a woman on X tell me to my face because I asked her directly, why don't you like VP Harris? She's beautiful, she's smart, she's accomplished. She won't get us sick. She said, oh, something dark skinned woman. I said, what? She's not dark skinned, she's light skinned. Whatever, she's got melanin in her skin. Sounding all unintelligent. I was like, okay. Then I left that spaces and I did not go back. That's right. And I do not repost because it was a guy and a girl. I do not repost their stuff as much. I used to repost their stuff all the time because it was herbs that heal you, things that you can sprinkle on your food and eat and be well. And I would repost that Dr. Sebi stuff. I don't do it as much. One, I used to post all the time, and I stopped posting because they're having some kind of mental breakdown on X. People go through it, and they go through it live on X. And I'm like, oh, I had to go in and block them because they were being negative and putting out horrible things. At first, it was ethereal and beautiful and graceful and nice, and then it just devolved into hateful things. And it's like, honey, I hope you and whoever you doing something with or for to get it together, but I cannot do it. It will not be done. It cannot be done. I cannot do those things. I cannot repost hateful things. Now, if I'm saying the hateful, there's also veggies in my bed. Okay? And some half-eaten pizza that hurt the roof of my mouth. I made some pizza, that second pizza, and I left it in there too long, and it's hard. And out of the roof of my mouth is torn up, just like I've been eating a bowl of Captain Crunch. It's all sore. And after a while, you get through chewing. I was like, that's it. Stomach's not growling. Everything's fine. Don't know how much food I ate today, but it wasn't very much. That's all I got to say. But yeah, they just said they didn't like her melanin. She's not white. That's why people don't like her. And then they alluded to her not being humble because she doesn't have any kids. And I'm like, kids aren't necessarily humbling. What if your children are superstars and they do well? You're going to be very proud all the time. I think it was leaning in towards uppity northern Negro woman. That's what they used to say down south. They were called uppity northern Negro women and men. That's how they think about things. That's how they categorize people when they talk and go and sing and dance. That's how they are as they come and go every day. They are racist. That is what a racist is. They have no insight into that. They don't want to be told about it. It's like going up and telling a woman she's fat and too fat for what she got on, and all that makeup ain't helping you. You just wasting your money and your time. He flirting with the waitress. Anything to fight with you and have a reason to leave your presence and go do whatever it is he want to do because you're too fat and your makeup doesn't help. You just like an overdone fat person. You can't go tell a woman that. You can't go tell them that. Like I told this one dude, but she's a whore and she did this, but she looks great in a dress. And it's like, how does that serve you? She's sleeping and going out with your friends. She lives her whole life and you're not a part of her life. Those other people she spend that time with and you get to watch her from afar, that's your relationship. Okay, she's not in a relationship with you. And that dress looks great on her. Did you buy it? Okay, did she go somewhere with you? No. Oh, you didn't even buy it? Okay, she has nothing to do with you. The entire relationship is up here. You delusional creature, you. Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. We're delusional. I mean, the look on his face, it's like I broke his heart. And it's like, oh dear. You actually, that delusion was holding you together? Oh. Sorry, did I do that? I'm just saying. Ain't nobody trying to be mean to you, but this is stuff that strangers shouldn't actually have to verbalize. To be honest. It was just a random conversation, but he kept it going. And he had points to make. And I made some counterpoints. And I won. And he lost. Because I didn't feel any kind of way after I got through. A temporary downbeat. It's like, oh, he looks sad. And then I was distracted by a butterfly. And, that was it. The story went bloop and went right on. He was a blip. I don't get caught up emotionally with other people that I do not know. Or who do not do things for me. Okay? Those are the two things. I have to know you. Have to be doing something for me. And if you're not, I'll know you and be like, hey, how you doing? And we'll go on about our business. That's our great relationship. I don't see anything wrong with that. But some people are offended that that's the beginning and end of the relationship. It's like a short sentence with a period on it. It does the job. And it's like you're not finna sit down and write a 1,000-page novel. You're not. You're not going to do any of those things. So the nice little short and simple, slap a period on it, we're done. And that way, you can frame it. That's nice. That's what I call nice. And I like being nice. Because to be anything past the civility of niceness, you actually have to put work in to have a relationship with me. It just doesn't occur. It doesn't just sprout up out of the ground like a weed. Okay? And if you're not going to cultivate a relationship with me, I'm not going to cultivate a relationship with me either. Not through you anyway. I'll be cultivating a relationship with me with some other person. Maybe this person makes me laugh out loud. To be honest, if you find somebody that's humorous and all that, it's hard to walk away from all that. Because this person has you in a good, upbeat mood. And would it make sense to be that way? And some people just don't know. It's like, oh, I do crave normal. See, because I'm used to normal. I'm used to normal people doing normal things. Like VP Harris. She is a normal person who went to school and learned and earned a degree and got a license to practice law. She went in as a prosecutor, a DA. That's her track record, her career. That's what college students do. College graduates do things like that. And now she's at the top of her game. She's going to be president. That's great. She's not a media darling. She is not an entertainer, a stripper, an actor. She is a regular person with a very important job. A very important job. And we trust her to do that. We trust her to administrate that job. That career path for her is a job. For us, there's certain things you got to do. I think she'll be delightful. She's very diplomatic. And she keeps it plain spoken. She could probably talk above people's heads, but how's that helpful to her cause? She had some Miller High Life with Colbert. That was one of her media, but she actually drank some. It's like they wanted to see if she actually drank beer. And it's like, well, a Miller High Life is not a bad beer. When it's ice cold, oh, God, and you thirsty and it's hot, and you pull up and it's like you turn around twice, and then you put all kind of hot pepper in their sauce, and it's like open pit is too much for me. And, you want a nice cold beer to cut the grease of that rib and that heat. And it tastes good. I used to smoke too, long time ago. And you know what? That was the end of the meal. It was not an ongoing gluttony session of food. Alcohol took the place of food a lot of times, and cigarettes too. We called it a European dinner. I'll take my martinis on the veranda. And they drag her the cart with the martinis out there, and she's having her cigarette. Where are the children? Ma'am. They are upstairs. They are with the nanny. Ma'am. I wouldn't mind that life. I just would not mind it. Because you don't have to put up with so much. There's so much that goes on that is so unnecessary that I don't even want to be involved in. And I don't even say anything. God will fight your battles if you remain silent. So I'm silent about my problems that probably aren't even problems. I'm just not doing it right. I found that to be true because somebody had said that to me and I didn't want to believe it, but they were right. It's like usually the problems coming from you or something you did. And then I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah. It was very much so exactly what they said. So I started watching, being more careful, being more mindful. Being more mindful. And I can catch some things if I'm mindful. You can go fast, but be mindful of how you place and position yourself and all of that. I said that you can't see sweat and oil through this filter. That's wrong. Look at all that highlight. It's highlight across the bridge of my nose. I don't know. It got out of hand. It got out of hand. I'm sorry. This is my new platform. I'm like, why fix it if it's broken? This is where I started. It's not a typical professionally produced podcast. It was this. That's what it was. Just being real with one another about, what was going on. And then it went to, going in other people's rooms. Instagram was instrumental in us. Twitter and Instagram. Social media was helpful to us humans here on the planet. And it still is helpful. People say a lot of things about X, but I find it usable because I just didn't go back in that room. It's like a house of mirrors, like a fun house. Some of the spaces, you're welcome. You can listen anonymously, especially if you don't think your melanin is welcome. It's more instances of people who don't like melanated people. More instances. They're very bold on X about their likes and dislikes. They're not educated people. They are not. And you should understand and approach them with that in mind. You treat uneducated people like you would any other instinctual being. If you go through life on your instincts only, that's how animals move. They're instinctual. It's dropped into them because their brains are small and they don't think. They're not mindful, but they do listen. They need to know when to run, fight or flight. And some humans are like that. And just as long as you're knowledgeable of that cast of people, and then I just limit my exposure. I just wanted to know why. I asked that one lady, and that's what she said. She just didn't like melanated people. She has melanin in her skin. They're going by that. And see, they're not educated. They're not going to hide the truth. They're going to tell you exactly what they think and how they feel at that moment, like any other low-class ghetto person. I don't care what. I don't care what color you are. I can tell a low-class ghetto person by the way they move. Yes. Yes, I can tell by the way they move. And when I peep that, that's it. It's a wrap. They've been categorized and tagged and stuck back out in the wild. I ain't fooling with you. Unless I have to. If I have to, it's different. Or if you're doing something, it's, oh, that's great. But it's always going to be brief. Because I already know going in, it don't have no damn sense. I already know. So why am I go over there and stir the pot? You think I have nothing else better to do? I'm always talking about I'm tired. My brain is tired. Because I will edit videos all day. I have all kinds of things. I can produce all kind of videos and things. That's right. And I'm populating my YouTube channel with all of the things. My YouTube channel's name is I Made a Mess is over 35 and up on YouTube. I Made a Mess is over 35 and up on YouTube. Now the handle is at over 35 and up. So if you go on YouTube, and you can go on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook page. Is that it? I even had a Snapchat with that. All over 35 and up. So there's Snapchat, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok. Am I missing one? And X is not over 35 and up. I don't think I can get into that account. Oh, she's not going to let me live today.
I'll go crying. Oh dear. Don't cry.
And of course the podcast. Y'all should see this.
Make it come back.
What happened? What are you looking at? Leave my stuff alone. What do you want?
It stopped working.
Which one? Which one?
It's not working.
You talking about the laptop or you talking about the tablet? Or the TV?
TV gone off. Hell.
Did you unplug something?
I'm gonna cry.
You need a whipping.
For crying. Crying.
Oh, I'm just full of threats. 'Cause
why is she crying?
whippings don't work on my kids. You have to actually think and talk to them. Intellect works.
Oh,
So
dear,
I guess that means that's
cry.
the end of over 35 and up, because it's all around this young woman I prioritize in my life named daughter.
Calm
Bye.
down, calm down.